So as you can see from the title, this is the hoodie that took us from zero to just under $50,000 in 1 month. So I want to just give a quick rundown for my first video on how this worked and why this product was able to be, successful. I say it in air quotes because in the grand scheme of e-com, 50,000 is really nothing. But the reason it wasn't able to scale was for other reasons, fulfillment. There were some issues with the sourcing and stuff like that. But as you can see, I have the hoodie right here. So the first thing is, it's actually a heated hoodie. So basically you press that button and then inside of the pocket, there's a power bank that's plugged in. And then throughout the sleeves, the chest, and the back, there are, like these pouches that heat up. So the first and foremost reason why this product was able to do well was because you probably can't even tell through the camera, but the quality on this hoodie is actually nice. Like, this is something, like, I would wear this. I probably don't know where I would wear it, but this is something that I could wear. Like, the quality on this is good. And that's so important because when you're not actually holding the inventory, a lot of people are just so consumed with seeing numbers on a revenue dashboard go up, and then they're selling garbage, like complete garbage. And the problem with that is that you're gonna end up getting chargebacks, you're gonna end up getting refunds, customer experience is gonna be dog shit, and it's just gonna make everything so much harder because you're gonna have to do double the marketing because you're selling garbage. Whereas with this was a good quality product. The issue, like I mentioned in the beginning, that stopped us from scaling was that our supplier was sending the power bank that makes it hot, separate. So like a customer would get their hoodie and then they were having to wait like another 4 days, 5 days to get this. And it wasn't supposed to be like that. It was an error. I take responsibility for that because I should have checked that before, but that was the reason why we weren't able to scale and it caused a ton of issues. But whenever the customer actually had this in hand, they were cool with it. Like they liked it. It was a good product. We were getting this for about $23 with this. So all in, we were at about $23, $24 and we were selling them for $65. So like the margin was good and we had room to buy customers. Like it was good. And the first thing that is so important about the reason why this product did well was the angle. So we sold this product we started like midway through November and then we ran it to the end of December. So about 30 days. The first angle that we used was the idea of making the life of the customer easier. So instead of having to wear jackets, big winter jackets with hoodies under and all these different long sleeves and, apparel for the winter, you could just wear this and you could heat your body up to, I forgot what the temperature was on this thing, but it goes up to a decent amount. You can get pretty warm in this thing. And that was the first selling angle that we used. So in our creatives, we would show people with big jackets, people with, big hoodies walking real stiff, really uncomfortable. And then the scene would cut and you would see them hanging out with their friends with just this on, being much warmer. So, and that's why I have this in hand, is because I actually ordered a bunch of these and I was sending them out to creators because we used custom content and it did well. So that was the first thing. The selling angle was very good to start. But then right around maybe 20 days in, probably like 15 days in, about halfway, we started to see a drop in performance. So what we did was we spun up another angle. And this is where we're able to really scale harder. The second angle that we used was spouses and being able to match with your spouse, match with your girlfriend, match with your boyfriend, all that shit. Because like I said, through the midway point of November through the end of December, that is like holiday buying season. So we were able to play right into the aesthetic of the cozy winters, fireplace, sitting around with the family, inside the house for snow days. And this fit right into that whole aesthetic of that cozy lifestyle that you get, especially on the East Coast during that time period. And I feel like that if you don't have good selling angles, so the importance of having selling angles is because at some point, people are gonna be tired of seeing the same approach to whatever you're selling them. So the only way to either scale past that is to change the offer. So change price, change what you're giving them, change something up about what value they're getting, or you change the premise of the product you're selling. So you change the concept, you change what you're pushing towards them, And our offer was doing really well because like I said, we were getting this for 23, we were selling it for 65, plus we had some bundles. So like we were pushing almost at $100 average order value for a $23 product it was costing us to source. So I knew we didn't have to change the offer, but what I knew we had to do was change the angle, or at least test new angles. If we couldn't find a new angle that was gonna do better, then we could try and figure out how to scale on the current angle. But just because of the way the time of year was when we were selling this, it was the perfect way to get in there and push the idea that you could buy one and match another one with your spouse. It worked so perfectly. And I feel like it's so fucked up, bro, because customers. In this industry, there's so much brain rot. And the problem is, because like I don't hate on anybody. Just that the issue is just like the brain rot actually works for some people. That's the real issue, is like people run these brain rot concepts and there's no real marketing behind it, and they're just shilling out garbage products. The problem is there's buyers on the other end. The problem is that there's actually people out there that are making a lot of money doing that shit. So that's like the craziest thing, because when you think about e-com and you think about the whole space of selling products, you're really just a marketer. Unless you built the product or made the product from scratch and it's yours, a little bit different. When you're not, like I didn't make this, you're just the marketer behind it. You're just doing direct response. And there's certain things that are principles and fundamentals in the game where it's just like having a strong offer, making sure customers are getting value, having strong selling angles, stuff that makes sense, makes it enticing, appealing for them to want to buy, having good product, having good creatives, you know, good ads, good videos, stuff that pops, stuff that gets customers interested, gets them to click, gets them to your website. But it's fucking crazy because online, people will just rip an entire landing page, offer, creative product, the entire thing from somebody else, and it'll actually work. So it's wild to see. But one thing that I recommend to people, at least from my experience, is like learn how to sell better products first that are harder, that it's going to be a much harder ask, especially for your skill set in the beginning, because then once you're in the game long enough, you will be able to see these products that kind of fly by in the space, and you'll be like, oh, I could run that up for 50, 60,000 right now. And they're not necessarily long-term. They're not long-term at all, but it just flies by and you kind of recognize the demand and you know it's a trend and you hop on it, you ride the wave till it's over and then you move on. It's much easier to do that when you actually know basic marketing, how to sell products, you know, online that are good, that actually take marketing thought. But yeah, I mean, it's just a great industry to be in the first place. Like shout out to everybody who ends up watching this. It's probably only going to be a few people from my other social medias, but we're going to grow quick on YouTube. I'm excited for this, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick little breakdown of the heated hoodie. And the thing that's so crazy, because I thought about this before I made the video, is like somebody could still run this right now, or at least in the winter time. I might even still run this. That's why I didn't put any of the creatives in this video. I was going to show you guys the creatives, but I'm not going to do that because I might still run this in the winter and then make another video later on, maybe like next November, and show you guys like it actually being ran again, because this is always going to be a winner. This is the neutral colors, so you know you can appeal to men and women. The market is huge. It's unisex fit, so men and women, you can get a ton of different customers. It's actually a very good product. It's just the sourcing was a little bit of a bitch, like I said, with the issue. But that'll wrap this one up. I'm hyped up. First YouTube video. Shout out to everybody who actually watches this, who makes it through. It probably came from another one of my accounts, which is dope. Gonna try and get at least 3 to 4 videos up a week moving forward to close out the rest of this next 6-7 months of the year. So stay tuned for that. If there's anything, bro, I'll make a video on anything that anybody wants to learn or hear or see. I'll show products, I'll show creatives, I'll show whatever, bro. Like it's definitely just something good to put out there. So appreciate that.